All right, guys, we're gonna roll the camera. Greetings, salutations, and welcome back to the channel. This video is more of a behind the scenes of what I do before I press the record button to do my weekly forecast. So, greetings, salutations, and good night. Welcome back to the channel. And like I said, just a bit of behind the scenes of what we do just before we hit the record button and do the weekly forecast. I need to stop doing that. Say the same thing 2 times and 3 times. I know it's good to reiterate, but goddamn, say don't spray. Anyway, we are here in the beautiful Wingfield estate, Wingfield rainforest, close to the Wingfield River. And I just absolutely love coming here to make videos. One, because it's in the depths, in the heart of nature. Two, there's a lot of spirits around, a lot of nice spirits around, you know what I'm saying? Feel comfortable, feel like, they're my ancestors, predecessors, my people, so I feel super comfortable being here, even a bit spiritually vulnerable, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like the spirits that inhabit this space, they fuck with me, you know what I'm saying? They resonate with me. So for the most part, we got some libations for the spirits, you know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't know why. I don't know why, but spirit seems to love rum. So we pay them with rum. We pay them with our attention. First of all, we pay them with our conscious awareness. But also, there's those lighter things that they seem to appreciate, like the rum, like the incense, like the smoke, the fumigations, the candles, all of that type of stuff. They seem to really gravitate to. And we could go into those sciences. For example, what I have here is some St. Kitts Gold, right? St. Kitts Gold tobacco leaf. This is our local tobacco. It's not as desirable, let's put it that way. It's not as desirable as a lot of other tobacco leaves from other places. However, ours is, unique and special to us. So it's quite golden. In contrast to the other tobacco leaves that you would see that look really brown like this one, right? Ours are a bit more golden until you really heat it out and get it so dark. So yeah, I'm about to heat out a piece of this because we're able to, smoke it and offer it as fumigations unto the spirits, We pay them using the fumigations. Now, in my mind, why spirits are attracted to these is because spirit is just nothing but space, right? And so spirit always has to take a shape or form. They always have to inhabit a body. And the first bodies that they inhabit are light bodies. Light as in, you could weigh it and it's very, very light, and light as in, like the light that we see. Like it's a light body. And so for the spirits that are still, having a light body and are, in this same space as us, right? They need a body. They can't just be out here, not bodying, right? They need a body. And so they take light bodies, that we could liken onto light rays, liken onto the wind, liken onto a shadow, liken onto like a whisper, them type of stuff. Unless the spirit gets real down into density, that's another situation. And so because they have a light body, a body that's sort of made up of smoke or like gas or like a flame, but unseeable flame, is like if this fire was flaming but you couldn't see it, but it's still flaming. That's what a spirit, I don't want to say appears to be like, but that's how we could kind of reference a spirit in our physical space, right? And so it's just a vibe. You kind of feel them. Maybe you could hear something. People who are real in tune could actually hear them and see them, but that's a whole different story. We're just talking about how we perceive them and interact with them on a mundane, day-to-day basis. Anyway, so we know that this place is filled with predecessors. The reason why we say predecessors is that you may resonate with different spirits that are not necessarily blood related to you. So like an ancestor would be, well, in my mind, right? I'm not coming across as if I Webster's dictionary, or I've studied etymology 101, 201, 303, whatever, right? But the point is that, you know, yeah, so the point is that they have lighter bodies than us. We have these dense bodies made up of, everything in the periodical timetable and all of that, all dirt and dust particles and everything, but their body is light, right? Like a smoke or like a light ray or something. And so that's why they like these light things like a flame. They're like the alcohol, because inside of the liquid is a particular spirit, right? Which they resonate with. So I think that's why they're like that. They're like the smoke, the incense. Actually, let's get some. We're gonna get the incense going in a bit. And so all of these things, spirit appreciates, right? And I have some thoughts. No, I'm not no Catholic scholar, I no theologian, but I just have some thoughts. No, so above, so below, the hermeticism. And so you have to just think about spirits, duppies, jumbies as people just like yourself, except that they lose the physical, most densest body where they could actually touch things, right? That's one way to look at it. And so they have 1 foot, or potentially could have 1 foot in the physical realm and 1 foot in the totally unseen realm, which in hermeticism we believe so above, so below, so without, so within. And so every physical manifestation has a unseen, a proportionately unseen correlation or coexistence. It has a guest or a gist or a ghost to every physical form, matter, phenomena. So that's how we could understand a bit more about spirit. It's just like a consciousness that lost is physical body, and your physical body is a manifestation, or the consolidation or the densification of consciousness in itself. And so that person who doesn't have a body is able to possess another one based on their conscious awareness and how powerful they are as spirits, right? So possession and all of that is possible, because if a spirit is strong enough, they would inhabit your vehicle, right? And so, yeah, you just kind of think about them as if they were people. And we also have the animals as representations, just to show you that, okay, a spirit, and even the plants, a spirit could have a different body to the humanoid body that we all experience. You could have like a fowl, chicken body. You could have a tree body. You could have, a snake body, a dog body, a particular plant, parasite body. It goes deep when it comes to spirit science, right? Of how a spirit inhabits a body, or densifies, right? And layers itself, builds these outer layers for itself. So it's quite interesting. And so when it comes to certain things like, you know, the candles and so forth, I guess they're symbolic, because you're saying, okay, the spirit may be lost, can't find his way, and so the light, which is synonymous or symbolic for the universal light of God, which guides our path. So in one sense, that's why a lot of Catholics believe in, I don't know what it's called, but like praying, interceding for certain spirits to find their way back to the light, right? That's one sort of prayer, because it's like people could be lost, people could be spiritually immature. You could have been on earth and didn't learn the necessary lessons that you have to learn. So when you lose your physical body and it's time to try to return to some sort of world or body, or return to one, like you're just lost, you're separate, right? And that's what we call hell, being separated from God. And so you're living in hell. until there's some light, right? AKA somebody burning a candle and saying some prayers for you and sending some incense. And then in that dream, you get a hunch of, oh, maybe I should turn that way or I should go this way. And oh, there's that light over there. Someone came to you in a dream and said XYZ, XYZ, blanzy, blanzy, blah. Long story short, you wake up and you're back in a physical body, right? So, how did that happen? What was all of that process? What just happened? I'm saying, just woke up from a dream. Just woke up from a dream. Better believe it. And so these are the type of, I don't know, internal and also external conversations and dialogues that I be having with myself sometimes when I'm out in nature. Sometimes it's a lot of meditation, just quieting the mind, mostly meditation, quieting the mind. And then when they start to chatter, it's these type of conversations we'll be having about spirit science and the whole lot. Okay, so you're almost pretty much ready with the fumigations. We're gonna hit this, say some prayers, do some invocations, ask all of the powerful, potent ancestors, predecessors to just come and commune. You know what I'm saying? We got some rum, we can pay y'all with rum, and we got certain intentions that we're gonna put forth, give them some work to do. Yeah, well, sometimes these spirits that be excited to just be a part of your life, man, is like they they don't have a dense body, but they're still very much attached to this world, because they haven't returned to all manifested their own body as yet. They're trying to, and so some of them just really like this experience, want to live with you or but curiously through your experiences. And so there's a whole lot of spirits out there that you could work with, the same way you may be excited and interested to work alongside with somebody as a collaborator, or maybe you more in a mentee role and the person is your mentor. There's so much different examples of that in real mundane life where somebody wants to help you, somebody resonates with you and they want to assist you, they want to give you good energy. Likewise, in the spiritual realm, good, bad, or indifferent, you need to put that disclaimer: good, bad, or indifferent, there's spirits that conspire with you, some against you, but it's all because of resonance, right? Or resonation, or relativity, per se. For example, if I like doing something and you like doing something, it's more likely that we could start to come together and do this thing together, right? So that goes for spirits that have a body and spirits that don't have a body. If I like to be in nature, right? If I like to be in nature and, let's say, sing in nature, right? Sing a particular scale in nature, and there were spirits in the past who used to love the same thing, to go into nature and to sing a particular song at a certain scale or key. If they haven't returned to one and they're still rotating or revolving in that same spiral, aka same location in the astral spiritual realm, aka the same location in the physical realm, and it doesn't even have to be the spiritual realm, because spirits, or I don't want to say omnipresent and omnipotent because that's only God, but we have more of that ability than humans. So they could, you know, jump from here, there, everywhere. They can't be everywhere at the same time like God, but they have more awareness and they could transport a lot faster. But the point is that if you like to be out in the nature singing a certain song on a certain scale, then you're going to be attracting like-minded spirits who like to be in nature, spirits of the nature who like singing. You know what I'm saying? a particular song in a particular key. And so whenever you go to nature to sing your song, you might hear or feel like, oh, there's a choir, there's other voices. You know what I'm saying? You're being watched, but you're not feeling uncomfortable, you know? And you feel like you're performing or entertaining others. Because in some way, shape, or form, you are entertaining others. There are some other spirits that fuck with you, you know what I'm saying? And because they don't have a physical body to physically do the thing, they enjoy it vicariously through or around you. Yeah. And, you know, just understanding this universal law, if it's a universal law, just understanding this more and, you know, putting it into practice, right? Actually living and experiencing it, knowing that to my left, to my right, I got my angels, my angels, my guides, my whole tribe is standing behind me. Yeah, I could see them looking terrible, terrifying. You know what I'm saying? And so the more you could acknowledge it, the more you could perceive it, the more you could be aware of it, even though you can't see it, then the more influential or impactful it or they could be. Shout out to my clan. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're about to get a bit more into spirit. Lit some incense for a few things, and then we're gonna get into the astrological reading. So I'll see you guys in that video. Major farewell until we meet or greet again.